Okay. All right, so we have our big and special Q&A session. We have Thomas Polson, Michael Pizer, Nicholas Simon, Eric Weaver, Pan Wien Dragoon is coming to join you. There he is. Welcome, welcome. I'm here with Adam and Yolanda, and also, of course, joining us is Dr. Chamnan Ngamani Udom, Deputy CEO of TMF. So this is our big Q&A session, a chance for all our viewers to ask anything you would like about the past 2 days. So our first question, this goes to Eric. When do you think Asia can see virtual production happening? Because you touched upon virtual production, very interesting aspects of it. We talked about the cost, but what do you see it happening right now in Asia?
So I definitely see it beginning to start. The Hong Kong chapter of SMPTE is doing a lot of work now, kicking things out and getting them moving. All of the panels are actually manufactured over in this part of the world. So I definitely see components of this taking off. And I believe that Thomas mentioned that there is a stage in town already in your neck of the woods. So if somebody wanted to see it or explore it from an LED stage perspective, definitely.
Yeah, there is one. You guys can find it. It's called Supreme Studio, and it's up by Savarnabhumi Airport. You can check it out online.
All right, by Suvarnabhumi.
Yeah, they've done work for Apple on the Greatest Beer Run. They've done with on Marvel projects. So it's it's not yet like an ILM stagecraft facility, but it's growing into one.
But everything doesn't have to be these giant stages or ILM. There's a huge middle market here coming up right now.
All right. This question goes for everybody. What is the status right now of the Thai content in the international stage? I think you can all answer one by one. Shall we start with Adam then in the studio?
Well, as we are one of the largest investors in Thai contents here in Thailand, you know, I mean as a foreign business. Right now we are growing. You know, we are growing pretty well, and there are a lot more buyers coming to buy our contents, and hopefully we can achieve like a double the size of the money that comes in by next year. You know, like probably it goes doubles almost every year. Like in this last couple of years, especially in COVID times, you know, that it's very important to know that in COVID times, like the content market grows so much that I never imagined that a lot of potential buyers are coming in to buy our content. So I think that we are doing pretty well so far, but we're not doing enough yet. I think with a lot of support and
international wise,
okay. not local wise, but because like we have we have like a kind of like saturated market here in Thailand already domestically, and what happened is if we have more cash coming in from abroad, then we can expand even further, and that's what's happening right now here in Thailand. And as you can see, like some companies like GMM or BEC, you know, they're selling a lot of content abroad, and they even goes IPO, you know. So what happened is that we need more cash, and not just only from domestically, but internationally, and that's what's happening.
Okay, well, you are on a government platform, so
yeah,
need more cash. I think they already know that. Well, what do you think, Yolanda? The status right now of Thai content in the international stage?
Yes, so from a distributions perspective, I would say it's a great opportunity. It's very promising. I would suggest you go to the buyers. The buyers are still going to markets and festivals coming out of COVID. MIPCOM is a great market. AFM is another great one. And if you do a feature film, submit it to get into as many festivals as you can.
All right, Nicholas Simon. Southeast Asia's Hollywood man in here in our region. What do you think?
I think you know, as everyone's highlighting, I mean, right now content is king, and you know, if you're able to create IP, there are multiple buyers. You know, as I mentioned earlier, you know, it's Amazon Studios, Disney Plus, HBO Max are now all rapidly expanding in Southeast Asia, and Thailand is one of the key markets for them to ramp up, to Netflix style local production.
Yeah.
So, and I think that there's a good precedent from, the Thai director Baz's most recent movie he did with Wong Kar-wai, One for the Road, and before that he did Bad Genius. Those are Thai projects that were developed, financed in Thailand, but traveled globally. And then another example is the Netflix hit with Kitty Chica. What is it? Netflix series and spacing out.
Bangkok Breaking.
No, it's the one where she's a schoolgirl. Why am I a girl from nowhere?
Oh, the Girl from Nowhere 1 and 2, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's, I think, but it's it's you got to make good content.
Okay, so content is still king. Asking Michael Pizer, what do you think in terms of the content here in Thailand? What are its potentials and the things that they can do to further expand into the international market?
I think it's by two ways. I think you have to look out and see what the international market is. You have to become a sponge for world culture. You have to know, for instance, in the last panel when you were talking about new trends that are drawing new markets, and also a sense of what the culture that you're selling into and buying for. And the world is open. I think that's really the message we brought with this whole discussion in the past 2 days, which is if you can create something that's great and effective for local audiences and has some sense or resonance with other cultures, people will start to watch it. 5 years ago, English had a total domination, a pejorative, over the control of the entertainment space. The best thing that probably came out of everybody being shut down and sequestered and watching a lot is that the world started to watch other things. It opened it up, and I think in the business model of streaming, really massive corporations that are amassing such volumes, and even smaller, very smart companies like Cinedigm, you're going to end up getting opportunities to be exposed to a lot more. Thai storytelling can flourish anywhere in the world, the tools and the craft, but I think people have to realize that audiences are also being heavily influenced by social media, and that you need to be able to cross-pollinate and promote in social media if you're trying to not spend advertising money to promote product, if you're not spending big money on Tom Cruise. You have to be able to create new influencers and new communities and shared identities. And I think that is going to happen in the next 5-10 years.
Okay, very interesting there. Kun Pan, anything you would like to add in terms of what the Thai content status is right now in the global market? What do you think of Thailand right now and its contents?
Okay, so one thing I wanted to add is just to echo what I said earlier about Unreal Engine, the fact that it's free. I would like to see more animated content coming out of Thailand. So me coming from Disney animation, it used to take 1,000 people to create a feature film, animated feature film. Now with less expensive motion capture, free Unreal Engine, cloud computing, you can make a really high quality animated content for a fraction of that cost, less than 100 people, maybe 50 people to create an animated feature film. And now the only limitation is your creativity. Like no longer is financial the barrier, no longer is technicality. Now it's just your creativity. So I'd love to see more animated content coming out of Thailand.
Okay,
Please.
maybe going into the enthusiast market, as Yolanda mentioned earlier before. So yeah, very, very interesting there. Uh, I'd like to skip over to Thomas Polson, if you don't mind. What do you think is the status right now in the Thai content industry? What do you think about that?
I think there was a period several years ago where Thai content, thanks to the success of films like Ong Bak, became
Yep.
very aware in Western culture. And I think maybe it took some steps back over the last decade or so, not so much in the quality of the content, but just the awareness of what Thailand is doing. The rest of the world might have lost a little bit of, not paying so much attention. And it seems like maybe it's time to try and reach out for Thailand to reach out more to the international market and do some more promotion and marketing of what they have to offer and make the world aware of the different things that are going on there and the different types of content. And you got to get it out there. You just got to get it out there and see where that audience is.
What about Eric Weaver? What do you think is the status right now in the Thai content?
So I think that we're hungry, or the giants are hungry for interesting new stories. And they're going to go far and wide to find whatever they can. And going back to Pun's comments here, is it's an absolute equalizer, whether it be in animation, whether it be in virtual production, that you can produce high quality stuff or for a much lower cost than could have been. So I think that there's a huge opportunity right now. But it's all about the story, and again, making sure to begin to tell those things that touch the community's heart in your side, and find that audience globally that would embrace it.
Okay, all about the story.
I just wanted to jump in there because I think that there's a business angle to the creativity too, that all of these streamers, their mandate, especially in Asia, and the way that they're going to value their shows are how many subscribers are they going to get from these? What's their viewership and what's driving subscription. So
Okay.
a show, I can't tell you the title yet and can't tell you the streamer, but one of the main streamers, they did a branded acquisition. So it's a licensing deal. We held on to all the IP rights. So we own product placement, we own the subsequent seasons, merchandising and everything. And one of the reasons we were able to do that is the people who we cast, and not only they're good talent, but the combination of him have between 15 and 20 million social media followers.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and that was, there was a strong concept behind it. But then right away, the streamers were like, oh my God, this is a way, if we get, 10% of those people to be subscribers, that's 1.5 to 2 million people. And if they get 1%, that's 150,000. So, they're very data driven. So I think that there's a creative aspect to the IP, but I think that you've got to have understand what what are going to drive their algorithms too.
Okay, sure. Dr. Chamnan, would you like to add anything on that about the status right now of Thai content to the world?
For 2 days, I've been, listening behind the scene, and I think, all of these new materials are quite exciting. We have seen, the outside in perspective on, the value and the uniqueness of Thai content. How, we have some original, Muay Thai fighting that have, for a short period capture attention from the Western audience. There's some interesting topic about how the family value, from the movie Chocolate, that can actually, signal or create a meaningful materials that are, likable by the audience. So I
Folklore.
think the important aspect, the folklores, yes, folklores
Yes.
and all those stories, And when Yolanda was mentioning about Bob Ross, I was thinking of hundreds of local artists here that can do paintings, can do weaving, can do a lot of handicraft that I don't know, maybe Cinedams would be interested in, you know. It can be like quite meditating as well, Yeah. So basically, I think all this information will open new perspective, and will help us, as Thai media industries to be to understand and to develop our contents, to be in accordance with the global and universal values, because basically, I think that we have a lot of rooms to improve, especially in, some televised programs that, many audiences are complaining that there are lack diversity here in Thailand. So basically, with all these new materials, I think we can, broaden, the characteristic and, help us be more confident in order to bring the core essence of Thai culture outlet, maybe through different storytelling, with a bit of, I don't know, dramatic conflicts like Tom was mentioned, or some interesting plot like Michael was talking about yesterday. So I think this is I think eye-opening experience.
So more opportunities in terms of folklore, Muay Thai, Thai food. I mean, a lot of people globally love Thai food, and also family values that we have here in Thailand. Our audience members asked, in the past 2 days, we've been talking about some very interesting things in terms of content distribution and then what makes a good storyteller. They also are asking, if they already have these contents, how can they get to the gatekeepers or get their content distributed? This question probably should go to Adam and Yolanda. So Adam, would you like to take the floor first?
Well, every platform has like a contact person. For investment part, making the originals, it would be me. You can contact me. It's very easy to find on the internet. You can search it and you find it. And I personally accepted every single applicant by myself. So probably you can just talk to me directly. And but for acquisition, I can direct you to the person in charge of it. But as I said, because there are so many people contacting us, we have limited budget, even though we are one of the largest investor in Thai content locally and domestically, right? But we still have limited supplies, of cash to pay. So basically, every platform has like a contacted persons. If you're in the industry for long enough, you probably know all of them by heart right now. Probably contact them, make sure that you know what you're doing, make sure you know what you're submitting to this platform, because like if you try to push the limit so far, and then it probably won't work. So probably studies, watch them before, see how it works, what's perform and what are they looking for. Maybe take a look at my lineup. I announced a lineup like last November. We have the videos on View platform. Search for it, see what we are looking for, see the types, the style, the way. Netflix has one thing, VTV has one thing, iQIYI has one thing, but View has one thing. So probably study before you approach. But we are kind of very, very open. All the platforms are very open towards like a new and good content. And if you got rejected, don't be mad. Sometimes it doesn't match up. Maybe it's good stuff, but it's not our stuff. So probably just making sure that you know what who you're approaching and why and how.
Do you necessarily need to be successful already, or can it be a completely new project that they approach?
Okay.
Because another question, they're asking, maybe you need something that's already successful, then we approach you, or can we be a production house who just newly had a new project, and then here's our movie or film?
Okay, out of this year, eight view originals, 6 of them are made by a totally new directors, new team.
okay.
And out of this, 50% of the cast in these originals are new cast. And we mix like a really popular cast with a new cast. We want to try to raise the awareness of like those new and new and good cast. So probably what we are trying to do is we try to approach like a new type, new ideas as well. So and also we also have like a program called View Pitching Forums, which accepting all the stories, and we are paying quite a hefty sum for this, the hefty cash for this particular synopsis. And now we are making in the 2023 we are making that into series, and we are
Okay.
paying like $1 million US for these projects. So probably we are kind of like very open actually. So you can try that through the View Pitching Forums. This year going to be like towards in a couple of months. I think in September we're going to be open up for the application. We're working with like Thai director associations, and we also have like me and the other person that are taking care of acquisition and also the View Original investment. So please try.
All right, sure. Yolanda, would you have anything to add on that? Because I get the feeling that our audience members, I mean, they may already have content in their production houses, but they're looking to distribute them. So how about Cinedigm?
Yeah, no, I echo what Adam said. And Cinedigm is not unique. There are many other streamers. We just happen to have a lot of channels, but I say the same. Do your research, do your homework, go see on the internet and look to see what channels people have. Who are they catering to? We're very clear about who our audience are for each one of those channels. So make sure that when you submit your content, you're submitting it with that background in mind, and that, as Adam said, it could be a fit or not a fit. Go to the festivals, go to the markets. If you can't, many of the markets and festivals are still providing a virtual component. So sign up virtually and have meetings with the buyers.
Okay. Anything else our other guest speakers would like to add in terms of going to these distribution channels? Because our audience members are asking questions about what would be the best way to go about doing this. Maybe perhaps Michael Pizer?
Well, I think I mentioned yesterday that you probably should try to find somebody who is already in the business of making, who has done it, and who you can say, maybe I won't be the only producer on this. Maybe I will ally with them and find out if they want that alliance. Producers all over the world are trying to figure out where they can sell, and if you can show something that's fabulous, I wrote to the head of Netflix on the feature side because somebody sent me a piece of product that was so unique and so specific for them. I sent it right along. They didn't want to do it, but it got a chance, it got a moment, and it got their attention, and they said, thank you for showing it, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the thing that really does connect with a universal audience. There are lots of people in the business who will say, we will be your middleman. We will be your broker. The one thing you should know is that you may have to compensate them, but don't pay them up front. Do not
Pay them up front.
pay anybody.
That's a very good idea.
No. I mean, there's a lot of scoundrels in the movie business. It is a very wide open market, but
You gotta be careful.
But there are, what Nicholas said, there's a lot of data, and so you have to go and dig that data out. It's all on the internet. It's all there. Nobody's smarter than you. No one's better at than trying to sift and sort. But you have to find something that really has value. You have to understand that it will have, that you can deliver it. And people will have to believe that you will not just back your project, but either watch your project and say, that's good, I want more of that. So you have to be patient as you learn to sell, and you also have to say that, and this is the big thing that I tried to say, is the world is changing. It is about selling subscriptions for streamers. It is about, it's less entrepreneurial individually to try to make a movie that succeeds in 15 or 50 markets around the world. Producers are in a quandary, a hard time of making those decisions all over the world. But the opportunity for really good product is there. Today, after listening just a little bit to what you guys were all saying, I talked to some writers about ideas for Thailand, and said, well, what about if we took that folklore motif and did something in an aggressive genre that meant something in all cultures? We try to figure out how to make it specific and universal.
Sure.
That's good storytelling, and the basis of all of this is great storytelling.
Okay, so storytelling is extremely important, and
it's the key.
The plot of the film or series is very important.
The engagement with the story, what your goal in any kind of filmmaking and storytelling is, forgetting that you're watching it and you have to keep watching it.
Ah, I see. Okay. The next question goes to Kun Pan. You're working in an industry that requires a lot of creativity. So how does a company in your field promote creativity in their employees?
There's many sorts, just from the standard ones where we have classes. We have drawing classes, screenwriting classes, filmmaking classes. They also bring in other filmmakers in to talk about, promote their films and talk about the creativity, not just directors, but like DP, production designers, everyone that's involved in the filmmaking. And then they open it up to the studio. So they said, like, all right, we have slots open up for 3 different projects. Everybody submit your best ideas. And then we look at it, we pick maybe 10 and then develop it. And whichever one rises to the top, we'll get a full development. So there's many different ways.
Next question from the audience member goes to Dr. Chamnan. How does TMF plan to support more and more Thai content producers or production houses?
Well, let me say that this webinar, this TMF Media Forum 2022 World Collaboration is only the first step of our commitment toward helping Thai local content producer, story writers, movie directors, documentary makers, and so on. So basically, we will support with the ecosystem. We were just talking, on the way forward with Michael, with Thomas, and also with Nicholas on how we can further, escalate our effort into linking Thailand local content industries to the global value chains. So basically, this webinar will be the first step, and with all our help, I'm so glad that we also have this acknowledged persons, Kun Pan and Hmom Ratchawong Chalerm Chatri Yukon, who's quite well experienced and have global perspective on promoting, already have this experience of promoting Thai content. So we will use this as a stepping stone, as a platform in order to further promote Thai content in the global stage. So
Okay.
that is our commitment.
And what a commitment it is. I would like to invite all our speakers to say something about how the Thai content could go worldwide. Shall we start with Yolanda?
Well, I think it's what everyone has been saying in terms of first content. People are saying content is king. I say content is royalty because content can be queen and king. I also think storytelling is the key. It is about engagement, and then everything else follows that. I do think it's important for the awareness of Thai content, and that's why I suggest to research and learn about other markets, so that you're not just presenting your content, but you're presenting it in context with that buyer's needs.
All right, sure. Nicholas, would you like to add on that? Hollywood's man in Southeast Asia Thai content.
I think that it's what Thailand doesn't have is sort of a production pipeline like Korea, where they're having consistent sort of hit after hit. And, but there have been one-offs from, I mentioned Bad Genius to The Girl from Nowhere, that have, maybe they didn't become worldwide hits, but they were all, top in dozens of markets around the world. And so I think that there is a creative base here, but for anything to travel, it has to have a life in its home country. So I'd say, concentrate on it, making it work in Thailand, and understand that if you make something that hits the zeitgeist like a Squid Games, a lot of that's luck. It's
they didn't think they had it.
Yeah,
they didn't know what they had.
And what's crazy is that there's a Japanese IP that called Liar's Game that has been sitting around for a long time and hasn't, and had unsuccessful local adaptations of it. And then along came Squid Games. So, all I say is just keep doing what you know, telling stories about things that you know about and are close to your heart, and make it work in your local market first, and then it has the potential to platform. And that's the beauty to these OTTs, is that once you get your content on it, it can naturally sort of have an organic life, and reach an international audience.
Sure.
And that also goes to talent. If you discover people who, they break out and they have 1 million followers, but you can find talent, new actors, actresses, performers, directors, artists attached, who will become world-class, and it's about elevating them into a broader market.
Sure.
They may not have been known, but once they come across, there is a desire in world markets all over the place to start to understand who's hot everywhere, and to try to understand that and touch that heat.
Okay, sure. Pan, anything you would like to add?
Sure. So first, I want to say that I don't know anything about film distribution or anything, so I'll leave it to the experts.
Sure.
But I'm talking to the filmmakers, to the Thai filmmakers specifically. I want you all to be honest with yourself. Be honest about your stories. Your stories are very unique. Believe it or not, you live it every day, but not everybody lives it every day. I look back at Pachinko on Apple TV Plus. Who'd ever thought that a story about early 1900s Korea-Japanese war would be so interesting? But at the end of the day, that story is about love, family, and family dynamics, but just taking place in such a different setting. So if you tell those, I love what Michael said, be universal but specific. That's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like Pachinko nailed that. It's a love story, family dynamic story, but it's so specific to what they're trying to sell. Thailand has so many stories that just every little thing, just a coming of age stories in Thailand, I think will translate and just go worldwide. but just be brutally honest with your storytelling.
And Eric, in terms of the Thai content going worldwide, what do you think?
So I'm going to have to go with pun there. I am not a distribution expert by
Sure.
any means, but what we've seen over and over is, telling the stories that are close to your heart, translating them, and again, I'll reiterate the idea that technology is a democratizer right now, that you can leverage quite a bit from quite a little, which gives you an advantage to tell wonderful stories in an amazing way.
Okay. Thomas Polson, about Thai content going worldwide?
I'm going to echo a little bit of Kun Pun's comments about animation. I've been exposed to Thai animation for first time was like 15 years ago.
I see.
I came to speak for the government on animation. I have an animation background, and I got to tour the art schools at the universities, and I was amazed at the quality of the artists in the art schools in Thailand 10, 15 years ago. There's so many incredibly creative, amazing, talented people, and I think it's been iterated. They need to start developing that pipeline, as Nicholas mentioned, of quality production that you can take advantage of the talent that you have there in Thailand and really use their skills to the best of ability. And that's going to, I think, take some focus from the universities on the training side, the filmmaking side, and just also continuing to learn about what the world expects out of content. Understanding, like especially animation, there's styles that work internationally, there's styles that don't work internationally. What are those? How do we learn that? And then how do we make our own style that's Thai, that just, the world falls in love with? And that's going to take some time, but the talent and the talent pool is ridiculous in Thailand from the creative standpoint.
All right, sure. Lastly, could Adam?
Well, I think that we have like a wonderful stories to tell, and we have lots of people who have the skills and the right mindset to go global. What we need is that we need to have more resources, the assets needed and required to make like a great content. Those resources means like money, time, know-how, knowledge, connections, and those people who help taking them to the right place at the right time. So hopefully, for example, like us, View here, our platform has been doing that for quite some time, but we alone is not enough. It's also that the government has to support us as well. The other platforms, the other TV stations or media conglomerates like CJs or Disney's or those people's, Apple's, those people's are people who have those resources, the connections and the know-how and knowledge in global scales who help us, help taking us, the Thai industry forwards. For us, we are like a smaller peoples. We're trying to help out as much as we could in these regions, and we are looking forward to help, to bring out, providing more resources, providing more time, providing more connections, and providing more things, for the Thai industry to grow. So hopefully it'll be better.
So government support is also very important, and this is what we are all here to do. Going back to Kun Pan's comment about waiting to see whether or not the government will build a virtual studio. Yes, there you go. He's giving a thumbs up. All right, well now I would like to invite Dr. Chamnan Ngamani Udom, Deputy CEO of the Thai Media Fund, to give a quick summarize and also a closing remark.
I have to excuse speakers. I'm probably gonna, speak in this session as a conclusion in Thai. So just give me 5 or 10 minutes โอเคก็ถึงช่วงสุดท้ายนะครับของ งาน TMF Media Forum 2020 นะครับ World Collaboration นะครับซึ่งในช่วง2 วันที่ผ่านมานะครับเราก็ได้เห็นความสำคัญนะครับของการเล่าเรื่องนะครับของการสร้างเนื้อหาที่เป็นเนื้อหาที่มีเอกลักษณ์ของประเทศไทยนะครับไปสู่เนื้อหาระดับโลกนะครับเราได้เรียนรู้จากประสบการณ์ของประเทศอื่นๆในเอเชียไม่ว่าจะเป็นประเทศญี่ปุ่นประเทศฮ่องกงหรือล่าสุดนะครับก็คือประเทศเกาหลีแล้วก็ได้เห็นว่าในประเทศไทยเองเรามีเนื้อหาหลายๆเรื่องนะครับเรามีซอฟต์พาวเวอร์หลายๆเรื่องซึ่งมีโอกาสและมีศักยภาพในตลาดโลกนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นมวยไทยซึ่งเคยประสบความสำเร็จมาแล้วในเรื่ององค์บาทนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องเกี่ยวกับวัฒนธรรมนะครับหรือแม้กระทั่งคุณค่าของครอบครัวที่เราสามารถที่จะนำมาเรียบเรียงนะครับมาเล่าเรื่องโดยวิธีการที่สามารถที่จะสร้างให้เนื้อหาเหล่านี้เป็นที่ต้องการนะครับของตลาดโลกวิธีการซึ่งวิทยากรของเราหลายคนได้พูดไปแล้วนะครับว่าอาจจะใส่เรื่องความขัดแย้งให้ปมมีการคลี่คลายนะครับใส่เรื่องเกี่ยวกับความระทึกขวัญความฮอร์เรอร์ต่างๆนะครับหรือสิ่งที่เมืองไทยนะครับได้รับความนิยมก็คือเรื่องเกี่ยวกับการต่อสู้นะครับหรือว่ามวยไทยนั่นเองนอกจากนั้นแอนิเมชันนะครับหรือว่าวิดีโอเกมต่างๆก็เป็นโอกาสที่ดีเป็นจุดเริ่มต้นหรือแม้กระทั่งงานที่เป็นการแสดงเกี่ยวกับศิลปะนะครับสอนเทคนิคในการทำศิลปะหรือทำอาหารต่างๆซึ่งก็มีตลาดที่เป็นที่นิยมอยู่โดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งในตลาดโทรทัศน์นะครับโทรทัศน์ที่มีโฆษณาในประเทศสหรัฐอเมริกานอกจากนั้นเราก็ยังเห็นถึงการใช้เทคโนโลยีต่างๆนะครับเข้ามาเป็นส่วนประกอบของบทภาพยนตร์นะครับของการผลิตภาพยนตร์ตลอดจนบทบาทของผู้อำนวยการผลิตนะครับซึ่งในยุคปัจจุบันเนี่ยนะครับมีความสำคัญมากในฐานะที่เป็นผู้ที่จะต้องบริหารจัดการโครงการนะครับแล้วก็สร้างให้เกิดนะครับรูปแบบของแผนธุรกิจที่สามารถที่จะนำไปเสนอนะครับนำไประดมทุนนะครับนำไปจัดจำหน่ายในช่องทางต่างๆที่เหมาะสมได้แล้วก็สิ่งสำคัญอีกอันหนึ่งก็คือการที่เราต้องเรียนรู้และทำความเข้าใจในตลาดไม่ว่าจะเป็นตลาดในการออกอากาศแบบเดิมหรือว่าตลาดในการเผยแพร่ผ่านทางช่องทางออนไลน์หรือบริการสตรีมมิ่งเซอร์วิสนั่นเองซึ่งในแต่ละช่องก็จะมีเอกลักษณ์นะครับในความต้องการของแต่ละช่องเองในแต่ละภูมิภาคก็จะมีเอกลักษณ์ความต้องการของแต่ละภูมิภาคอย่างที่วิทยากรหลายๆท่านได้พูดไปแล้วว่าสำหรับในตลาดอเมริกานะครับหนังประเภทต่อสู้แอคชั่นหรือหนังประเภทสยองขวัญเนี่ยเป็นที่ต้องการซึ่งอันนี้ก็เป็นสิ่งที่ประเทศไทยเราสามารถทำได้อย่างดีหรือแนวโน้มความต้องการคอนเทนต์ที่เป็นคอนเทนต์ของเอเชียซึ่งมีการเล่าเรื่องที่เป็นเอกลักษณ์นะครับอันนี้ก็มีโอกาสที่จะพัฒนาไปในเวทีโลกแต่เราก็ต้องทำความเข้าใจแล้วก็เรียนรู้นะครับว่าผู้ซื้อเนื้อหาในแต่ละบริษัทแต่ละรายนะครับมีความต้องการอย่างไรโดยการนำเสนอโดยการเริ่มจากการดูเนื้อหาของเขาก่อนนะครับว่าเขามีการเผยแพร่เนื้อหานะครับประเภทไหนบ้างจากนั้นก็พยายามนำเสนอเนื้อหาที่สอดคล้องหรือเป็นที่ต้องการของช่องเหล่านั้นเพราะว่าในยุคปัจจุบันที่เนื้อหามีความสำคัญเนี่ยจะเห็นได้ว่าแต่ละช่องจะมีเอกลักษณ์ของตัวเองอย่างมากนะครับที่จะมีนโยบายในการรับซื้อเนื้อหาที่เหมาะสมกับช่องของตัวเองฉะนั้นการติดต่อนะครับการไปออกงานนะครับงานแสดงภาพยนตร์ต่างๆก็เป็นสิ่งที่รัฐบาลไทยนะครับโดยเฉพาะที่กระทรวงวัฒนธรรมและสำหรับทางกองทุนพัฒนาสื่อปลอดภัยและสร้างสรรค์เนี่ยเราก็ยินดีให้การสนับสนุนอยู่แล้วนะครับโดยเฉพาะยิ่งเนื้อหาที่มีความปลอดภัยและสร้างสรรค์อย่างที่เราย้ำนะครับก็คือเนื้อหาที่ปราศจากเรื่องเพศภาษาความรุนแรงซึ่งผมก็มั่นใจได้ว่าในหลายๆประเภท ของเนื้อหาที่เราพูดคุยกันในช่วง2 วันที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยนะเป็นเนื้อหาที่ทางกองทุนเราสามารถให้การสนับสนุนได้ตั้งแต่ต้นก็คือตั้งแต่นะการสนับสนุนทุนในการผลิตนะครับนะและผมก็หวังว่านะครับงานใน2 วันนี้นะครับนอกจากจะเป็นการให้ความรู้นะครับกับทุกท่านเกี่ยวกับศักยภาพและก็โอกาสนะครับที่อุตสาหกรรมสื่อของไทยนะไม่ใช่เฉพาะภาพยนตร์นะครับนะแต่รวมถึงสารคดีรวมถึงวรรณกรรมนะครับรวมถึงบทละครนะครับนะบทสารคดีนะไปจนถึงการผลิตสื่อประเภทต่างๆ so finally it's been very fruitful and I think we have seen the new horizon I would say and I like to thank all of our speakers for I think probably be the last 6 months since we were working on this project, Michael. Long time, yes.
Long time.
Yes. Okay, so I like to express my sincere gratitude, to everyone, to Eric, to Thomas, Yolanda, to คุณพันธ์เวียนตระกูลหม่อมราชวงศ์เฉลิมชาติยุกูล and Michael for and also Nicholas for the Hollywood guys in Asia for all your contribution and I believe that this will not be the last of of this similar activities we are planning for a lot more interaction and a lot more collaboration between Hollywood, between the states and other regions, as well as our local content producer.
Just to wrap things up, thank you all again to our speakers. We've talked about intellectual property, very interesting aspects. We talked about how to raise capital. As I said again, no money and there's no film, but people need to do research on the global market. And I've seen time and time again, our speakers have emphasized this. You need to watch and do research on the global market. The more you watch, the more you know what the market wants. So for now, on behalf of the TMF Media Forum 2022 World Collaboration, thank you all again for joining us. My name is Danny Pichapat Ratanakunserirangit. Have a good day and a good evening to you for those joining from the US. Thank you. สวัสดีครับ